What if I told you the intense friction we see between the United States and Iran today isn't just about current events, but a story rooted in choices made over 70 years ago, decisions that still echo through every headline? Understanding the true origins of this complex relationship isn't just for historians, it's crucial for anyone wanting to make sense of a world constantly on edge. For a brief period after World War II, the United States and Iran shared a somewhat cordial relationship, driven by mutual interests and the looming shadow of Soviet expansion. The U.S. supported Iran's modernization under the Shah, viewing the nation as a key ally in the oil-rich Middle East. However, this partnership began to crack under the weight of Cold War politics and Iran's burgeoning nationalism. The real turning point, the foundational conflict that poisoned the well, arrived in 1953. Iran, under its democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh, sought to nationalize its oil industry, challenging British control. This move was seen by both Britain and the US as a threat to Western economic interests and a potential open door for Soviet influence. The solution, they believed, was a covert operation. In what would become known as Operation Ajax, the CIA, with British intelligence, orchestrated a coup d'état. Mossadegh was overthrown, and the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was reinstated with vastly increased powers. For many Iranians, this wasn't just a political reshuffle, it was a foreign intervention that crushed their democratic aspirations and installed a puppet regime. The bitter taste of betrayal lingered for decades, sowing deep distrust in America's intentions. The result was a generation of Iranians who viewed the US not as a liberator, but as a manipulator. The Shah's rule, while bringing modernization to some parts of Iran, grew increasingly autocratic, fueled by US military and economic aid. This support only deepened Iranian resentment, eventually boiling over in the 1979 Islamic Revolution. This was the ultimate clash, where the people, led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, rose up not just against the Shah, but against what they perceived as decades of American interference. The revolution culminated in the dramatic hostage crisis, where 52 American diplomats and citizens were held for 444 days, fundamentally redefining US-Iran relations from partnership to outright enmity. The 1979 revolution and hostage crisis weren't the end of the conflicts, but a new beginning of a protracted struggle. From the US supporting Iraq in the devastating Iran-Iraq War of the 1980s, to decades of crippling sanctions aimed at isolating Iran's economy, and the ongoing saga of Iran's nuclear program and regional proxy wars, each event is a direct consequence of that initial fracturing of trust. The "Great Satan" rhetoric from Tehran, and Washington's perception of Iran as a primary state sponsor of terrorism, are not recent inventions, they are the ingrained results of this complex, often violent, historical exchange. The past isn't just history, it's the very ground upon which current tensions are built.